What up? It's your boy Codename Duchess. We are back here with our all-time ERAS domination series. We are going to beat the O2 Kings. We're going to give you a little bit of strategy. This is going to be a shorter video. There's really only one player on there that gives you really much of a headache, but he gives you a migraine, to be honest. But before we get into it, make sure you hit that subscribe, smash that like. Follow us on Twitch, Twitter, TikTok. Links are, of course, in the bio. And let's go ahead and let's get into it. First thing is going to be our lineup. I want my fastest point guard. I want my best defenders down low, and Cycli and Davis. I'm going to cycle them through. Chris Webber is a 98. He is going to give us a migraine. Every time I pulled away in this game, he would start to take over. If I started to pull away too early in the fourth, he would start to take over and hit everything. So our whole defensive strategy is going to be about slowing him down at the end of the game. Offensively, play your game. Again, we put out the How to Beat the 2010s team. There's a strategy in there that will work for every one of these games. I would find it very boring to use it because it's just use one highly effective play over and over and over again. But this Kings team, as you can see here in these clips, they're not good defenders. Outside of Doug Christie's probably the best. He's an amethyst though. As long as you have a super powered diamond or a pink diamond player, you should be able to beat him. McGrady was able to blow by him at will. The issue, like I said, is containing Chris Webber. But not the best defenders. Mike Bibby can be had. Bobby Jackson can be had. Peja can be had. Haydu can be had. Doug Christie can be had if your player's good enough. So it's definitely not a game or a team like before where we've had to strategize that we're going to save McGrady to try to attack their backups to build the biggest lead that we can. It's definitely one where you just bring your players and just go at their slower, non-athletic, really big, really good offensive players, but not good defensive players. Even Chris Webber can be had on the block down here. This is just Amy Moses Malone. He does have 97 strength. That'd be the only thing I would say. I wouldn't rely on it though, because Chris Webber is a Galaxy Opal, so he does have some decent defensive stats. He's not a scrub, but he can definitely be had. You can definitely attack him. Alright, and now on to the defense. It's really not super complicated. This is definitely a team you don't want to pull away from early. Chris Webber will start taking over and he will make everything. He's got the moves of a perimeter player playing the power forward spot. And he's just a matchup nightmare. He's a 98 overall. So, our strategy is going to be to play off of Divac to try to help double. You do got to be careful. Divac is a good shooter. He just doesn't have a high shot tendency. Got to make sure that you get those rebounds. Divac and Webber are both definitely good rebounders. And then they got a 6'11 small forward in at all times between Peja and Haydu. So, really just play. Make sure that you get the rebounds. Make sure that you don't trigger Webber till the end. As ridiculous as that sounds, that's really what you're going for. And again, if you're less than a shot clock and you have a double-digit lead, they won't shoot the ball. They'll inbound this ball and they'll just dribble out this clock. But, oh God, Chris Webber, every time it was close and I was down to the end, Chris Webber would just take over. I had to come up with a strategy to stop him. Divac barely sits in this game. Scott Pollard would be awesome to shoot off of, but Divac barely sits. Chris Webber barely sits, and when he does sit, it's Haydu Turkoglu out there, who's not as dangerous, but he's still a 6'11" guy who can shoot the three. So there's not a lot of playing off of them. I remember in 2K2, or no, NBA Live 02, this Kings team would kill me to the point where I had to run a zone if I wanted to beat them in franchise back in the day because, don't want to date myself. But, yeah, definitely a hard out. Offensively, not that bad. There's plenty of people that you can attack. Again, Haydu's not a good defender. Peja's not a good defender. Bobby Jackson's not a good defender. Doug Christie is a good defender, but he is only an amethyst. So if you have a diamond or even, pink diamond McGrady, we should all of us should almost have. If you hit level 40 last season, they'll definitely be able to attack Doug Christie. And Mike Bibby's not an elite defender. If you have a quick enough point guard, you can definitely get around him. But that's all I got for you this one. It's not a very long one. Simply try to keep Chris Webber from taking over. He's an issue. Divac's shot tendency is really low. But make sure you hit that subscribe, smash that like, follow us on Twitch, Twitter, TikTok. Hope y'all have a good night. Hope this helps. Of course, the How to Beat the 2010s is already out, so go check that one out. If you follow that strategy really for every one of these games, you can apply it, and you do just fine. It would just be a very boring strategy. But that's all I got. Y'all have a good night, and I'll catch y'all next time.